So starting with the Mirror, Paul, what are they going with?
Big headline. Fears of an all-out war. Israel is facing a fight on 3 fronts, and UN plea to end hell of innocence. And I'm relatively surprised by the Daily Mirror here, because this is quite a factual front page.
It's only about 4 words.
Yeah, but the 4 words that most of the other papers seem to use of this ilk are like, friendly activists in Palestine are being pelted with bombs, and you're like, no, this is an all-out war now, unfortunately, and I pray and I hope that it doesn't escalate into something absolutely massive because of the second part of this subheadline, UN plea to end hell of innocence. Because what we have to do, and I know I keep saying this, but I think it's really important, is we have to separate the terrorism and terrorists of Hamas and some of those people in Palestine, some of those people that are getting killed. Now they put themselves in that position, undoubtedly. And on the other side, of course, it's right
they were voted in 2006, but they haven't had elections and whatever. Why did you make me have to be all balanced and stuff like that? It's very painful, Paul. But really this story, sorry to interrupt you, because we are going to get to that and I want to make these points further. But this story really is about whether or not this is going to escalate.
Well, every time you start a war, Josh, every time there's anything...
Yeah, you know about this, don't you?
Yeah, of course I do.
Divorced.
Well, it all starts, it's exactly like a divorce. It starts with one bad word, and the next thing you know, you don't see your kids for like 2-3 years. And that's not true. I did see my kids. They're on the way to school. I used to stand outside.
Oh, mate, if you're not going to pay your parents' contributions, that's what happens.
You know what? Well, you make no money because you're on... We're not discussing this, Josh. What this story is, it's interesting that it's in the Mirror, fears of all-out war. Basically, they're saying, this is what my impression is, that I think they're trying, because the Mirror is a left-wing paper, I think they're trying to make it seem like Israel is bringing us into all-out war. It's blaming Israel and then saying UN plea to end hell of innocence. Well, they're not talking about the hell of the 126 hostages. They're not talking about that hell. They're talking about the kids. They're showing pictures of Palestinian kids. War is a bad thing. And the question is, what fronts are they talking about? Are they talking about, is Egypt considered a front?
Well, no, it's not. It's about Lebanon and Syria, really. I mean, that's the thing now. This isn't a situation that we've had before in historically large wars involving Israel, where the first war in 1948, invasion by literally every single side. Yeah. Now there is peace with Jordan, there is peace with Egypt, there is also peace, the Abraham Accords. So this isn't what it was. We are talking more about Iran, essentially, through its proxies in Syria, through Lebanon, and that's the fear of it. There's an argument that this was, well, there's a lot of evidence that Iran's footprint is on what happened, and there. But what's happened is America, by sending its warships, has put a stop to that and said, look, if Iran's going to get involved with these Lebanon, whatever, if it's going to escalate like that, whilst the army is distracted down south in Gaza, then America's going to get involved, and that's the fear.
Yeah, I see it differently, Josh. I see by America sending its aircraft carrier in that area is placing America in danger. I mean, those things are so vulnerable nowadays, aircraft carriers. The days of aircraft carriers are long gone, as Russia and the Ukraine situation has proved, having a navy, by planting ships out in the middle of the Caribbean, the Mediterranean. It means that one of those ships is going to be blown up, and then it is going to be an all-out war.
Well, there you have it. You have 3 very stupid comedians discussing global geopolitical war.
I think I know, because you know something, I think it was in the 1967 war or 73 war, where Israel blew up an American ship.
Okay, Louis,
you don't remember, you don't know that happened because you're so young, Josh.
I know I'm so young.
But you could Google it. I didn't do the research beforehand, but I do remember that America had a ship.